Katie Couric shipping off for Iraq tonight, and CBS Evening News anchor is leaving the comfort of her New York studio and heading for the war zone. Why? Her executive producer says it has nothing to do with the show's struggling ratings, calling anyone who thinks that fools. Count Janice Krause, one of them. She is with Concerned Women for America. Also with us, Susan Estridge, who says Katie is simply going where the news is. She's a law professor at USC. But Janice, to you first, why is she doing it?
Well, it's a clear act of desperation. I find it very sad. You know, here's a woman who was very successful in one career. She made a terrible mistake, and here she is going off to Iraq, paying absolutely no attention to the fact that her children have already lost one parent, and here she's putting herself in harm's way. We've already had more than 100 journalists die in Iraq, and I think it's very sad to see Katie having her priorities so determined by her ambition rather than for her children's welfare. I think that it's a warped perspective. I think she is being advised by people who aren't really concerned about her well-being or her children's well-being. Instead, they're concerned about ratings. This is a clear publicity stunt.
So, Susan, should no single mother be put in a job where she's in danger? Should Katie Couric not be going?
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to bring home all those American women who are serving in the armed forces over in Iraq and are exposed to probably much greater harm, and certainly for a lot longer than Katie is. I don't know if Janice is a mother, but I am. And it's one of the hardest jobs anybody does. And I would defy anybody to second guess a mother's decision as to what's best for her and her children, or to do the balance that each of us has to do all the time in terms of our children and our jobs. I really think, Janice, I'm sure you mean it well, but I don't know who you are to sit in judgment on another woman and the decisions she and her family make as to what's best for them.
But Janice, these children would be orphans because she's a widow if something happened to her, God forbid.
Well, we've already seen what has happened to Jessica Lynch and people like that. I think it would be very, very tragic if something like that happened to Katie. And this is totally uncalled for. You know, Susan, I was in the Atlanta airport recently and saw a group of troops go out to Iraq. It was very sad to see the men with their children who wanted to hang in there till the very end to say goodbye. But what really was tragic was seeing the mothers who had their children with them who had to say goodbye. Katie is not making this as going as an armed forces person. She's making a choice here, a career choice, where her ambition is what is pushing her to go
Susan,
there.
Katie did tell...
This is the timing. Look at the timing. It's just before fall ratings.
Excuse me, Janice. Susan, Katie Couric did tell one interviewer last year that as a single parent with 2 children, she didn't plan to go to Iraq because of the danger.
Well,
and
clearly she's taken that into account. Can I finish? Clearly she's taken that into account. But, you know, she's a journalist. This is a war. It's a really important story. It's not like she's going to camp out at Paris Hilton's house. I mean, the press has been criticized for not covering Iraq with the intensity it should.
What changed from a year ago, though, Susan?
That's her decision. Who are we to sit in judgment of another woman, a mother, whose children, by the way, will be in better shape if anything happens?
Katie is the one who sat in judgment of journalists doing this. She said if an anchor went to Iraq, she said it would be window dressing. And here she is. She's changed her mind because of the timing. Look, it's just before the fall ratings war.
Oh, Janice, we're all in the ratings business. Do you think you're on here having this debate with me because people don't want to get ratings? I mean, we're all in that business, but we're also in the news business of discussing important
I would say
things.
the same thing if this were a man journalist going out there, a male anchor, because this, when you look at the choice she's making, she's saying, my ratings are more important than my children. That's the bottom line.
Thank you, ladies.